The Primal diet doesn't have to be isolating. You don't have to isolate yourself because of the way you eat and the ideas you have. If you think about it, we live in a more tolerant time than maybe any other time we could have known in some ways. But you can also argue against that to some extent. But presenting, if you're just starting the diet, presenting that mode of the way you're eating to people, it shouldn't be confrontational. It shouldn't be implicitly judgmental on who you're talking to. Basically, it just comes from a point of, I'm doing this because it's benefiting me. I'm happy for it. And shouldn't you, if you're a family or friends or whatever, be happy for me now? Coworkers is another, or that like different relationships require different tact. For this, like some places you work, you may not be able to, you might just not want to bring it up at all. But for your friends or your family, those are people that should, care about you. And I've already done a video on this a little bit. But it's been over a year, I think, since I talked about this, and I've talked to many new people starting the diet, and just myself having been on the diet, having perceptions change from people, that I like, my family that I know, just, some words of wisdom, I suppose, if you're concerned about getting your food in, especially you have to be places such as work or family gatherings, or maybe you're in college or something and you don't want to eat a steak in front of somebody raw. Like, you don't have to do that, right? There's plenty of different modes of food preparation that can create a primal stealth sort of meal. For instance, if you pate your meats, you combine sauces, it's gonna look like some casserole. You can say it's like some kind of, leftover foods from yesterday, and yeah, it doesn't look great, and you don't want to heat it up because you don't like to use a microwave. There's nothing wrong with not using a microwave. Things like vegetable juice, you can shake an egg in there. Nobody's gonna know the difference unless you tell them. So vegetable juice, completely normal thing to drink, right? Cheesecake, right? They don't have to know that, oh, well, I used unheated raw unsalted cheese and raw unpasteurized butter from an Amish farmer, and I have to be in a private membership to get it because it's not legal to, blah blah blah, and I had to melt it just below 104 degrees to keep all the you don't need to spurg out on people and you just say, oh yeah, this is just some cheesecake. There you go. I'm having cheesecake for lunch. Well, that's kind of, it's like, yeah, it's a little, it's a little exuberant, but whatever. You're an adult. You can have ice cream and waffles. I remember one morning I was like, yeah, I'm hungry. I've got ice cream. I've got waffles. This is before the diet, obviously. This is like when I turned, 18, 19. And I was like, I'm going to have ice cream and waffles for breakfast because I'm an adult and I can do what I want. I don't need to have bacon and eggs and call it breakfast. So it's the same thing. Like, yeah, bring some cheesecake in. We've got, what else do we got? Meat pates. You can make that stealth. You can have sushi. You say, oh yeah, I'm eating sushi. No one's gonna say, oh, well, that's weird. No, it's sushi. Everybody loves sushi. Vegetable juice. A hydration formula. Oh yeah, this is a protein shake. You don't tell them, oh, well, actually, this is 1 cup of cucumber peeled, and 1 cup of tomato, and 1 cup of watermelon, and 2 tablespoons of raw cream, and 4 tablespoons of raw coconut cream. And oh, by the way, you know, you don't need to tell them everything. You just, if you give off that vibe, you're not going to second guess it. If you're weird about it, it's going to be weird. So you have to have some confidence about what you're eating, and that, you know, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just eating the way you want to eat, that's working and is healthy for you. So you have to think about it like that. If you get pushback, you know, if you overshare with family or friends, or even you just have to share because of the circumstances, and they're weird about it, you can just say, well, I know people, I talk to people who do eat this way for over 5 years, you know, or maybe you know people longer, and they're having good results with their health. They're not having problems anymore they used to have. I'm getting relief from some of my problems, and you know, I'm not forcing this on you. This is a personal choice. I would hope that if we're friends or family, you could, you know, respect my choices and at least be open to them and give them a chance. It's not like I'm pushing this on you. So that's kind of how you have to be if you don't want to be isolated. But if you're gonna, you know, go off on tangents and over-explain and overshare about things on the diet, or, you know, whatever, even getting into terrain theory or something, which you can touch tangentially, you know, if you explain the raw stuff, then yeah, I mean, you know, you're gonna have problems if you make a mountain out of a molehill, so to speak. I'm sorry, there's wind. I hope my audio is coming through okay. But yeah, so basically don't be weird about it, and, you know, find ways to make stealth primal food and just give simple answers to questions, if they even ask questions. And you really shouldn't have any problems pretty much no matter where you are. If you're going to a family gathering, you know, for instance, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and there's cooked food there, you know, maybe it's insulting in your culture, or you just feel insulting if you're not going to eat something there. You know, if you eat a little bit of prime rib or turkey, you know, it's not going to kill you, right? You can have plenty of primal foods before you go over there, and you don't really have to worry about it. Eating a little bit of, you know, cooked meat is not going to throw you off the diet. It's not going to really affect you in any meaningful capacity. So it's your choice, right? Like, I don't eat like that. When I go to family, I bring my own food, and some of them don't like it, but I don't really care, man. It's, you know what? I don't care. I don't really like them either. So it doesn't matter, right? Like, but if it does matter, you know, for you, if you're not ready to just really like fully commit and you don't like the conversation, then, you know, it is what it is. But it's not going to destroy your body. It's not going to destroy your health because you ate, you know, you ate a little bit of cooked turkey once a year. Okay, so just realize that, and have a healthy attitude about food and dealing with people. Be sure to communicate your wants and needs and reasons respectfully. Don't yell at people, okay? Just kind of everything I talked about, just be reasonable. Because if you act like kind of, you know, somebody who's a little unhinged, it's just gonna make like people who do the diet look that way. Obviously, you know, you want to try to be a little bit more calm and explain. Yeah, it's going to be difficult. I mean, but that's the test, isn't it? So it is what it is. But, you know, this kind of thought around, oh, well, the diet's isolating, you have to find people who only do the diet, and if you're with people who aren't on the diet, then it's bad, they're a bad influence. And, you know, no, not necessarily. So, you know, you got to be realistic about things and try to have a more balanced approach to these things, and, you know, be a little less judgmental on yourself and other people, and they might also not judge you as hard. You know, not everybody, but the vibes you give off, they're kind of reciprocated. So just keep that in mind. Good luck.